We're gonna go back to the song now.
Yeah, all right.
What are we talking about?
Earlier, we are talking about people's confirmation biases, and the next part in the lyrics kind of gets into that. It's your self-righteous pride eats away at your subconscious mind. It's saying, like, your ego is over-controlling, like, everything that you are as a person. And to get past that, you need to be aware of everything that's in front of you, but also inside of you, outside of you. You need to be aware of everything at once.
Which is easier said than done.
Like, I feel like I struggle with a lot of ego.
I mean, I don't think you could ever really get rid of it.
I mean, it's a part of you. It's a part of you in this life.
You ever tried DMT?
Psychedelics will break that temporarily.
Yeah, I think the key is to understand or to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't really
not let it control.
You can't survive without it.
Some points are unhealthy. Yeah, it's like you get to a point where certain things are unhealthy. It's like you're living.
And that's the key.
It's got to be in check.
In this life, you could literally be anyone else. Somehow you ended up in this suit.
Yep.
Like if you think like if I was switched at the hospital with someone else, how different would I be?
And then it's weird to think about. Like I know my mom had like 4 miscarriages. It's just weird to think about because if she would have had the first one, that's a completely different child. You know what I mean? And like that's wild.
Everything
to think
that came after it would have been different.
So your self-righteous pride eats away at your subconscious mind. You're afraid of change. It's time to face the truth. The path has been laid, but it's up to you. So literally, like, you know, spiritual teachers or whatever, just like enlighten people. They've been telling people for thousands of years, like, hey, there's this other path. It's really nice. You can see like everything in front of you and you're not distracted. Like, why don't you try this? Try meditation, try, you know, whatever religion. Like, there's ways outside of this mindset and outside of this system. And I think like it really is just up to you at the end of the day if you're going to take it or not.
The thing about it is that's the path has been laid, but it's up to you, and it's not the fun or easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
for sure.
It's like the harder thing to choose, and you have to choose it.
Yeah, and it just takes time. You know, it's just
anything worth having.
It's the same with like like practicing music or you know, furthering yourself in your career,
instantly
your job.
Is probably superficial and will fade.
Which is so tough with our current
everything
technologies.
is like instant gratification.
Click
That's
a
what
button
makes it
and
hard.
have food outside.
Everything's set up to be
Click a
instant.
button and have any type of girl you want. You know, type of thing.
How's that work?
And that's interesting. Do you think technology kind of takes us away from that inner aspect of like finding ourselves?
Oh, for sure. I think it's going to be a lot harder because VR is going to give you instant gratification for whoever you want to be. And why would you want to come out of that?
No.
But
well, as far as VR goes, yes, because it's very video game like. Yeah. But I mean, even like social media, you could still like tailor it to be beneficial towards you.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to like follow stupid people on Twitter, you can follow.
That's a conscious choice.
And it's a choice, yeah. But it's still like an option.
We're able to like look at when we get to watch debates with like Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson.
Exactly.
It's like we're open to so much more that if you do make that choice, it is way easier than 60 years ago.
That's why I'm torn. Doesn't it feel like the bad, not really bad aspects,
but potentially bad
aspects are pushed more than the information?
I was thinking to myself just the other day, I was like, God, how much time do I spend looking at my phone all day? And even if we are looking at, positive
usually
things,
it's all
could be a good
bullshit. It's shit that not matters, right?
Memes,
right? Yeah,
memes.
Memes are great.
No, they're fine. Memes are okay.
But it's like, all that time that we spend doing that, all that time we spend distracted, it's nuts. It takes us away from a lot of other potential activities.
Technology can be great, but you have to choose to let it. It goes back to like being able to study and learn whatever we want to be able to create.
It is all based on intention for sure.
If I could just be more aware of it, and then I could use the technology to like learn something. It's all out there. It's like you have to choose.
There's so many like distractions, and I think it's good to have.
But there's so much information that's never been available.
I think it's just finding the balance. When we were doing the EP, like I burnt the shit out of myself because I was like, I have to constantly be doing something productive.
You kind of get caught up in the grind, you know. Because that just feeds into the next part of this. It's inside you're caught up in your mind, afraid to be all alone. Before a moment in time, you should just let go. Just relax, chill.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Don't chill too much.
And again, we're going to go back to balance.
It is. Everything is balanced.
I think it all ties back to mindfulness. If you're working too hard, you got to be aware of that. Chill a little bit. If you're chilling too much, you got to be aware of that. Like, it's time to get back to work.
It's just so hard to do.
It is, 100%.
There's so many different things, and you try to be in the center of all of them. It seems like the only way to do that for me would be to, like, hardcore plan out everything else I'm going to do, but then that's, like, out of balance.
But it's too structured.
It's a lot of moving parts.
It's weird. Like, everything is just figuring out how to do it for yourself. It's like forcing ourselves to go to the gym, and it's like you don't want to, but you know you should. Same with
And
like
you feel
eating.
better afterwards.
You do
And
feel
you feel
better,
better
but
afterwards.
it's like you know, for us it takes so long to get there, and it's like you come up with these excuses.
And then once you get there, it's fine.
It is, but it's still like this huge time
Right.
restriction, and you start debating in your head like, is it worth? Because you know, with Nashville traffic,
Right.
for us to get to the gym takes an hour.
That's why priorities are important.
But at the same time, maybe we're just being too hard because it's all going towards a
Productive,
beneficial
right.
thing.
Yeah,
Because I feel like I'm most productive when it's like I just kind of move from thing to thing, but it's all just under the same umbrella. And it's like there's in music, especially doing everything DIY, there's no way to be bored. So I feel guilty when I'm bored because I'm like,
There's always something.
between videography and all the audio stuff that's constantly going up and all the songwriting, just literally every different facet of that. It's like there's no way you could be bored. So
I feel like that's where like analysis paralysis comes in. Which
that too. That's why you have
you
Jordan
think of
Peterson
so
style.
much.
You break it down into steps small enough to where a step you know you would be willing to take and be able to do that day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think as far as
Snowball it up.
achieving anything. That's
But
a
it's
good way to
about
look
having
at
the
it,
goal.
yeah.
It's about having like
Right.
the purpose.
Yeah.
That's what you have to have a vision. You have to have a clear focus on it.
I think like what you said about mindfulness. I think it's important, like, because I think a lot of people just go through life every day on autopilot. You know, it's just like
Right.
their mind's focused on like just getting through the day usually. And I think it's important every now and then just to be like calm down and just have like a center of focus. Like I'm here. I'm here in the moment. 100%. This is me living and breathing. Like, and just like center themselves.
That's why it really helps if what you want to do and what you have to do can align, which is what we're all trying to do. It's something you said a long time ago when you were just like, I did not uproot my life and move across the country
100%.
to come waste my time. And it's like, I thought a lot about that. It's like
Yeah.
the sacrifice we all make of being away from our families and being away from everything we've ever known. It's like you have to make it worth it. You can't just sit here and twiddle our thumbs. It's like,
Which is so hard because like we get distracted by the daily
anything.
Yeah,
Game of
just
Thrones.
anything.
Yeah. Like the daily grind too, like going to work.
100%.
And it's like, oh, we gotta fund the band. It's like, oh, so we gotta work to fund the
We have
band.
to
Like,
live. We have to survive.
So and it's like, oh, I gotta work to do this, so like I can't dedicate full time to this because I gotta do this. I'm sure thousands of people totally understand that, and I think that's the joy of it in a sense. How you have to push yourself. And it's like, how do we really do this? Like, how do we figure out a way?
Yeah, so that goes back to doing the small things.
So after the it's up to you part, it's the chorus, which is like the overarching theme of the song. After you should just let go. So keep on searching inward for new paths yet to be paved. Truth is here within you, so stop waiting to be saved. And I feel like just that couple lines speaks the whole song in volume. Keep looking within yourself. Keep trying to figure yourself out and like figure out what your path in life is. For new paths yet to be paved, kind of like digs into the part where it's like stop following people and looking at their successes and looking at how they live their lives. Like, do your own thing. Figure it out for yourself. Like, there's money out there. Money is an illusion to me. Plenty of money out there. Stop worrying about that shit.
You can always make more.
The truth is here within you. Your subconsciousness or, that voice from God that some people hear. Like, the truth is there. Like, just listen to it and then just stop waiting for someone to save your life. Stop waiting for someone to be like, oh, here's a handout or here's an opportunity. Take it for yourself.
I don't know if everybody feels this way. I assume all humans feel this way about how there's two of you and you discuss with yourself. There's like the one that knows what you should be doing, the one that like is perfect, and then there's the other version of you, which is kind of just like our human form, and like constantly
ego
trying to just shut it down, make excuses. You battle with yourself, and
it's like your brain versus the you. That you think you are, that you should be.
Unfortunately, I feel like that voice is quieter.
I feel like that's one thing like we've gotten better with, but like I still lose constantly, and like I know what's right.
Yeah.
You know like what you should be doing, but somehow you convince yourself.
I think that louder voice just like kind of plays off like the animalistic side of you and the urges, the human urges, like,
100%,
and that's why it's so strong because that is your base level.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.